cumbukaay tur day uyu borom jasna pire soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality jasna your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garmi yi ndaxte quality jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi. Ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg. dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi. make up artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay make up product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofa sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality jasna si 250 01 24 ak quality jasna taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye it dëggal sa alaaji aas.
leen bu baax a baax fii si diwaanu Barra tey mu nekk international children day bu 2023 soo déggee international mooy nekk bési xale tey bu ngeen gisee tey war ko March Past leen doon ko amal fu ñu ko dooree Barra fii dem bi Essau tey gis ngeen bii moo nekk seen samedi bu 2023 lu nekk seen thème bi mooy di right of the child in the digital platform moo nekk ak yelleefi xale ñoom loolu leen di wax because su waxee ak yelleef nekkul mag rek moo war a am ak yelleef rawatina ndaw ñi xale war na lañu ak moo tax tey ndaw yi ñoo fi nekk pour lan màggal si seen bés di 2023 loo xam ne adduna bi yëpp ñoo ko daal di def moo tax ñu ne international children day bu 2023 moo tax March Past bi waa Barra ñoom dañ ko fale day defee Barra at bu jot moo tax Barra leen day commencé March bi ba si diwaani Essau Youth Centre bu mu fa daal di àggee ñoom fam ne dinañ fa def waxtaan nga xam ne nit ñi dinañ daal di wax lu temmi ak xale naka nga ko joxe sa ak xale naka nga ko joxe sa ak sa yelef.
dañu yaru ñu ne xale Barra-Essau dañu yaru dañu am fayda duñu nuyoo ñun dañuy nuyoo ndeysaan nuyoo xale yaa ngi nuyoo ndeysaan
ma ne nuyoo ba lay ba day ànd ak soo leen bëggul ma wër ak bés woy nag ngeen noppi
musola dimbaya jamfa mambeke ya
saye mama bele man saye mama bele man saye ngandega wow
ba tey ñu fii si diwaani Barra tey di nekk bés boo xam ne ñu ngi màggal Africa Children's Day maanaam boo déggee moo nekk xale yi africain yu pour li mu war a def ba jox leen seen ak seen lef nga xam ne at bu nekk leen ko lay màggal fii diggante Barra-Essau bu ngeen ko xoolee début si suba bu ko commencé March Past bi Barra lañ ko commencé dem Essau.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم إني أسألك بأني أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifuna wa salamu ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Son and the Holy Spirit. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from all evil. Amen. Oh Lord, as we have gathered here, please help us, guide us, so that whatever we are here for, let us achieve it and go back home in peace. Amen.
So on our high table, we have Momodu Diallo from Fisheries Department. We have Kasim Toure at our far hand right side, coordinator of Amnesty International. We have Mohamed Lamin Fofana, health director. Alpha Amaro, district chairperson. Fatam, headmistress, former headmistress, Esolo Basic School.
Children are the vulnerable people when you come to our society, especially the school-going children. And I will talk about little information about human rights because they are all part of the same group. To know what is human rights, human rights are the basic rights and the freedom that belong to every person in the world from birth up to death. And they apply regardless of where you are from, what you believe or how you choose to live your life. And they can never be taken away, although they can sometimes be restricted. And in this area, I think it is very important when we talk about human rights. Doesn't mean like as a child, we have all the right to do whatsoever you want in the society. But there are some areas of restrictions which you know that they should not allow the child to do certain things which will affect the life of the child, especially when you come to the future of that particular child in the society. Like for example, if a child breaks the law or in the interest of a national security, these basic rights are based on shared value like dignity, fairness, equality, respect, and independence. These values are defined and protected by law. Like when you come to Britain, our human rights are protected by the Human Rights Act 1998. As a national human rights institution, NHR, our job to make Britain fair, okay? And we have been speaking to children across the country, asking them about human rights and receiving simple, honest, and funny answers from them. Now, and the human rights, how do human rights help? And human rights are relevant to all of us as a duty in the country, as a citizen, not just those who face repressions or the mistreatment. They protected you in many areas of your day-to-day life, including, especially the children, your right to have and express your own opinion. I think when you come to our society, that is a challenge. And when you talk about the children, like most of the parents, we don't normally respect the ideas or the opinions of children in our community or even in our household. So based on our traditional value and the norms, like maybe most of the time when we talk about human rights, especially in our community, they will talk about, yes, they want to disregard our norms and value in our society. But I think a child also have an opinion, to share an opinion with the parents. And which you know that, and it will also help the child in the future. And the right to have an education. A right to have an education. Like an example to some of the areas in the country, we have been seeing most of the children helping their parents, though it's not bad, but I think sometimes we have to consider their education and their safety within the community. They are vulnerable people in the society, so we have to protect them. So education is a right for the children, your right to have a private and family life.
Saying thank you for coming to be part of the celebration. The reason why we gathered here is to commemorate the Day of the African Child. Maybe most people don't know why specifically are we commemorating this day. In 1976 in Soweto in South Africa, Children's March in the street of Soweto because of the poor quality education that children are having in their country. They thought it's necessary for them to be taught in their local languages. During that uprising in Soweto, thousands of people marched in the street, but hundreds were killed during that day on the 16th of June. This is the reason why the AOU initiated this day to commemorate and talk about children's issue since 1991, whereby authorities, individuals, children, parents would gather to reflect on how far or the progress on the lives of children in our country, but more specifically to see what are we going to do to make sure that children in our community live effectively or have a very successful life. This is the reason why the coordination of working children and youths of the Gambia in each year, we see how best to commemorate this day through our associations that we have in the country. But this year we wanted to make it with a difference. We said no, the Association of Working Children and Youths of Barra would not go to celebrate it in Birkama or in Basse in elsewhere, but we want to do it together with other organizations that are within Barra and Essau. Maybe in the future we'll look at all the organizations that exist within Lower Nyomi or even in North Bank region to make it a better commemoration, whereby we'll look into issues that affect children, not within only in Barra-Essau, but in the whole district or in the whole region. The other issue is we also want to see how best to talk about what affects the life of children within this community. We all know there are so many things that are going on. Every day we hear in news of children who have been violated, rape cases, children who are even killed. Recently we heard of those news and nobody knows who's responsible. Meaning the society is no more safe for our children within here. So this is a point of reflection whereby we all need to look into and try to see how best can we do to make sure that children within this area are well protected. We cannot do it alone. We have to involve children. We have to involve youths. We have to involve parents. We have to involve stakeholders to make sure that what we targeted can be achieved. On that note, I thank all of you who are present here on this gathering. And to tell you that this is not only to gather to make fun, but also a learning point for us for reflection on what are we supposed to do when we step out of here. Because the day it's not only the official ceremony, but in the afternoon we'll be showcasing dramas, poems, and also projections of movies related to children-related cases, whereby all the children that would participate will learn from it. I thank you all for your kind attention.
For this year, the theme is the right of the child in the digital environment. Therefore, my speech will be centered on some of the rights of children in the digital environment. I will also talk about the risks faced by children in the digital space. Mr. Chairperson, I want to believe that you will all agree with me that information and communication technology have changed our world. By extension, this rapid change has affected the way our children learn socially and the life they live. Subsequently, we must adapt to the change if we want to raise our children. If we want to raise our children properly and help them attain their goals. As stated by the Committee of the Right of the Children, the digital environment become increasingly vital across most aspects of children's life. Children use the digital space to socialize and educate properly. This gives them the opportunity to raise the rights, but they also have their rights violated and abused online. Mr. Chairperson, The advance of the internet and the social media platforms such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, TikTok, and others have made communication easier, fast, and cheaper. These mediums, these medias can, these medias of communication can benefit societies in many ways. However, they can also harm people when used in a wrong and harmful way. We must protect the rights of our beloved children in the digital age. We must make sure that our children, the cream of the society, reap the benefit of the digital environment. We must employ strategies to regulate our digital platforms to safeguard the rights of the children. In doing so, every one of us has a duty. The home, the school, the state all have important responsibilities in the protection of the right of the child in the digital environment. Eventually, we need a concerned effort to make sure that our children enjoy their right in the digital environment with less risk, harm, and abuse. At home, our family is the first school and primary agent of socialization. For this reason, the family, especially parents, have the biggest responsibility of ensuring that the children enjoy their rights in the digital world. This is because the digital environment can create enhanced children access to high quality and inclusive education. To improve their learning, parents should endeavor to provide digital services to their children to access educational platforms at home. Parents have a duty to ensure that children are protected from risks in the digital world. These risks include harmful misinformation, child sexual exploitation and abuse, online bullying, and other forms of online abuse. We need to monitor our children's activities in the digital space, otherwise we cannot protect their rights. Mr. Chairperson, schools are arguably the most important institution that deals with children. If properly run, schools can serve as vehicles that develop and nurture children into responsible adults that become good citizens. Schools can ruin children's life if not well managed. As teachers, we spend a lot of time with children and sometimes interact with them more than their parents. That is the most reason the schools must provide safe space for children to learn and socialize. In the digital world, schools are duty-bound to facilitate the digital education of children without abuse and
Bete ñu fi ci douane Barra tay ndi nek bés bu am ne ñu ngi magal Africa Children's Day manam bo déggé mo naka xalé africain yu pour li mu wara def be jox leen seen accès lef nga xam ne at bu nekk lañ ko le magal fi diggante Barra-Essau bu ngeen ko xoolee début ci suba bu kay commencé match pass bi Barra lañ ko commencé dem Essau buñ fa génne di kola baaxu moom na gaara na fa kàddu mu ne lii am na solo bu baax waa pour lan xale yi ñu jox la seen ahase waa duñ def dara ñu déglu kola baaxum ñu daal di ñëwaat suñu wax ci bés bi.
Being maltreated. And then previous speakers have said that, and then it should be our responsibilities as child-led organizations, that is the WCY, the Red Cross, Amnesty International, Animal Welfare, and others, to come up with strategies for us to implement in our communities, so as we can see how best we can control our youths, we can control our children in our different environment. As they say, the environment is being polluted by these internet apps. But what are we doing as stakeholders to control those things? We need to ask ourselves. This is why today we are celebrating this, to make that reflection, for us to know how far have we done in the past, so as these things will not come back in the near future. On that note, I also wish to thank the parents that have left their kids to come and attend this important thing. And then I know this program is going to continue because we have other activities that we are going to do in the evening, whereby there will be learning and video projection for us to better understand what are some of the issues affecting us and how best also are we going to teach our other youths and our other children to understand those issues. We all know, especially the environment that we are here, Essau and Barra. There are a lot of issues. The chairman, the VDC chairman of Barra have just highlighted just one issue that is happening, and then we are all seeing that. And then it's polluting our environment. What are we doing as stakeholders? I think it should be our responsibility for us to come together and then push that agenda forward and see how best to make a remedy. On that note, I'm assigning especially our parliamentarian who is sitting on behalf of the youths of this region to voice our concern so as our voices would be heard, so as the difficulties that we are could be better remedied. On that note, I wish to thank Gambia Talent for coming to cover this important, and then all other sponsors who have made this day that we are able to converge here to celebrate this day. On that note, on behalf of the Coalition of Child-Led Organizations and on behalf of the WCY and the African Movement of Working Children and Youth, we wish to thank you for coming, and then this coming will not be the last time of our engagement, and then we want to have a continuous engagement within our communities. On that note, thank you, and then have a successful day in the subsequent activities. Thank you.
Ne dafa am solo bu baax kon kolam moom di la gaaw si bés bi moom tamit emun foofu tamit dinañ da di continuer si bétay ñu si fii si duwaani Barra. waaw ba tey kon lu ma yéen fii ñu fii si duwaani ba nga xam ne tey ñu ngi màggal bés xale am nañ fi comme ne ku ñu Mamadou Lamine Fofana moom nag si wàllum Ministry of Health la jógee ko nga nag moom moo leen fi teewal moom wax na ne di African Children Day nekk na xam ne am na solo bu baax ba surtout ma si wàllu soo ñëwee si wàllum digital bi mun a digital soo ko waxee dafa yaatu bu baax soo ñëwee ñun si seen health system bi sax jamono ji yëfi digital leen léegi waaye duñ def dara ñu déglu ko si moom kàddoom.
So the theme here today is the right of the child in a digital environment. The previous speakers have already explained the rights, the digital environment and all whatnot. I want to be pleased, you can allow me to be a little bit biased because I am a health professional and I'm going to look at this digital environment in relation to health. To inform you, Ministry of Health of the Gambia, in collaboration with the government, have gone very far in digitalizing the issues that are related to children. To remind you, just about a few months ago, Ministry of Health was round and about trying to register the birth certificates. And I believe most of you have got your digital birth certificate. It's not only birth certificate, but we call it CRVS. CRVS means civil registration of vital statistic. When you talk about vital statistic, it's all the activities that are going on in this country. Marriage, divorces, accidents, birth registration, death registration, and all whatnot. But the platform has already been set by the government to ensure that all these registrations will happen digitally. And it is your fundamental human right to access those documents when the time comes. It's your first fundamental human right to get a name and a place of birth, your father's name and your mother's name. That's what we call as a birth certificate. That is your first identity, is your fundamental human right to get it. And it's digitalized. Before, it was not. When you receive it, when it is lost, you take another trouble to get it. But now when it is lost, go anywhere in the Gambia, just give them your number, they produce it for you in 2 minutes. So that's the advantage of the digitalization. Ministry did not stop there. They went further to digitalize the immunization records. You know immunization, for some of you who may not know immunization is the nurse. You know, there are certain days women will tell you, "Mangedem nurse." So when they go to nurse, the injection that is given to them is all inputted in the system. It's no longer paper-based. It's in the system. In case if you go, that infant welfare card, the nurse card, when it is lost, go there in 2 minutes, they reproduce one for you and give it to you. They did not only stop there, but when it is time for this woman to go to nurse, the woman will automatically receive an SMS message in the mobile. It's unfortunate. Most of them, they cannot read and write, so they cannot understand that they are just telling them that next Wednesday is your clinic day, you have to go for nurse. But this is exactly what is happening.
waaw comme ni nga ko déggee si làmmiñ yi Mamadou Lamine foofu comme ni nga wax na ne ñoo si health système bi sax boo xoolee sax si base fi ticket bi sax dañ indi système bu ees moo tax loolu yëpp pulan yëfi digital comme su ma waxee African Children Day dem bugg a jëlam ne wayam digital dina am solo bu baax a baax ba kon nag dem na ba gaaraan ne wax na ne moom doomam yi sax am na ñaar xale ñoom ne kenn ki 7 years la kenn 13 years mu ngi use phone waaye daf ko set with Google moo tax xale lu bu ko download ñoo ñu kombo moom mu ngi baara fii waaye lu ñu bëgg a download rek Google daf ko daldi seen message wan ko ne xale li namba su ne waxee waaw mu meelan because loolu tamit pour lu ko waral xale walloo ko may freedom bi ëppa kon Mamadou Lamine foofa na moom lii la wax si bés bi waa bi day si bis bi di Mr Alfousseyni Diouf moom tamit gaara na fi mu nekkoon jàngalekat si école bi waaye jamono moo nekk di VDC chairman bu Barra moom nag gaara na mun a lii soo ko xoolee am na solo bu baax wa na réew lu bëri ñoo ko lay daal di maag si tamit fanweer ak juróom ñetta kon moom nag wax na ne loo xam ne dafa am solo comme xale buñ la not bu ëppa pour xale bi tamit war nga ko mun a may jàmm nga gis moom tamit dina mun a waaye duñ def dara ñu déglu woon moom si ay kàddoom.
A person in the internet because you are going to be very much vulnerable. If you look at examples, I am living in Barra. You can see small girls from other countries. They are in Barra and they are selling themselves. What brought them there? The internet plays some part in it. Because what they are telling you, we have a job for you through the internet, and then you believe those people that they are going to give you a job wherever they are taking you, and whilst what they are telling you is not true. The moment you reach the place where they promise you a job, there is another kind of job that you are going to be forced to do. Because you are a child, you cannot fight the right for yourself. Even adults cannot fight rights for themselves. So as children, you are so much vulnerable. That is for the girls. For the boys too, most of these young boys want to travel. And then you can be blackmailed. Some people can tell you in the internet that I can give you visa, or I can take you to some place if you give me or provide some certain amount of money. They will take you to some place, and then the promise would be false. you will find yourself in an environment very helpless. This is why not every right in the digital environment can be used or can be prioritized to children. For education, you can use the internet to have a very good education. When we were going to school, there was no internet. We have to make our searches through libraries, through books. If you don't have books, you don't have information. If you are from a poor family, you cannot buy textbooks, then you are not going to learn properly. But nowadays, within the internet, you can search anything concerning education. That is your right. You can use it 100% for education. And then that is your right to check the internet and follow people who are good people, to become role models like that. You are going to school, and then I think you could recognize whatever is good or bad. If you see anything in the internet and then you don't want to show it to any other adult, know that it's straight away bad, and then you do away with that. So to make you understand that the internet is a wild environment in another sense, in another side, that is why people are trying to limit your rights over there. It's just to save you. On that note, I thank the chairman of the Coalition of Youth-Led Organizations and these participating children. All of you here should take some information to your fellow children so that they will know their rights or the rights they would have to follow with the digital environment.
waaw comme nu ngeen ko déggal si Mr Diouf kon nag nekk na loo xam ne daal moom tamit wax na si am solo bu baax a baax comme nu ngeen ko daal di déggee kon nag duñ def moom nag wax na ne ba tey xale yi ne leen toppa ne leen contrôle waaye buñ leen jëlee not lam bu baax a baax na moom boo xoolee ñu jamono bu mu doon jàngale ñoom da ngay jege xale bu baax wan ne ñoom ak lii lañ war a def kon nag Mr Alfu Seni Diouf moom lii la gaaraloon si bés bi di African Children's Day bi. waaw ba tey si ndaje bi di xam ne Mrs Marcel Mendy di Lady Councillor Ward bu Essau moom tamit mu ngi woon si bés moom tamit wax na ne lii dafa am solo bu baax wax rawatina soo ñëwee si wàllum ndaw ñu jigéen ñi mu ne léegi-léegi ñoom kilifa yi war nañ see taxawaay bu baax ba ñu xool seen doom yi buñ génn na léegi rek ni dee génn sax mu ne mu ngi dem school waaye àggu si school bi ñoom jamono dañuy xool mu ne xale léegi waayes boo xam ne maanaam neex na xele neex boo xam ne mun nañ dem indi feneen bu ñu ñëwee ñu ne daan naa school na loolu nekk na loo xam ne ñoom kilifa war nañ si bàyyi waaye duñ def dara ñu déglu ko si ay
right. I have the right. You should know the rights that you have to be trained of. You have to be a good child. That's your right. Obey your parents. Be humble. Don't put yourself into mess. Don't put yourself into drugs. Don't put yourself into many things that will harm you tomorrow. That some kids are taking it as their priority. I have the right, I have the right. But those rights are not for you. The rights that you have is the right of education. Your family also have the right to educate you. They have the right to shelter you. They have the right to do sort of things for you, but not to put you into a mess. So if nowadays we mothers, we need to be counseling our kids. When we talk about counseling, call your kids at home, counsel them, don't harass them. Some kids, if you want to meet them on the road and you want to tell them such things, they will not accept it. You have to bring them on board, talk to them what is the good and the bad of the rights that they are talking of. When you talk about rights, others, they don't know what is the right of a child. As an illiterate, if you have a mother who is not educated, the child will always say that I have the right. We have the right, we parents, to check your bags. When your kid is going to school, you have to check the bags of your kids. Other kids are very wise. If they know that their parents are not educated, they will use that as an advantage. They will be going out without the concept of their parents, and when they are going, even if they don't go to school, when they come back, they said, I'm very tired, Mom, I was doing so and so. What I want to tell the parents are, each child, when he's back from school, open his or her book and check. The red one the one that is marked correct. Many parents now, they are using it. Even me, I was having this elders education. I always consult my other women that are not educated to check on their kids' bags. There are other kids that are very smart. If you think that your child is not smarter than you, sometimes you are fooling yourself. We have very smart kids. Some of them, they will be crossing, they will not go to school. They will be hanging around, they will not go to school, they will go to the beaches. And when they come, they said, Mom, we have a hectic day. Always check their books. This is what I have for the parents. And you kids, you are the future of tomorrow. We want to see that each parent want to, I'm in a level, I want my kids to be far ahead of me. Each of us want, because you are the one that will build the nation. We have our hopes on you. So you people also to bring back the little that we have been putting on you so that it can remain there and your kids also will benefit out of that. Today I'm so happy. I don't know what to say.
waa ba tey ñu di Mr Omar B Sonko moom tamit wax na loo xam ne mu ne lii boo ko xoolee lu yàgga moom mu ne depuis jamono di first président di Saado da Kerawa Jawara moom mu ne lii nag depuis si time collège lii dafa am solo puy xool xale yi naka lañ wala am seen i wax na ne ba balaa Gambie di am independence di 1965 lii nekkoon na lam ne ñoom tamit ñu si loon dox Jawara daf na si taxawaay bu baax a waaye duñ def dara ñu déglu si ay kàddoom.
As a school teacher, the above mentioned rights for a child to have. You have a right to clean drinking water, good shelter, education, health, and to live, express yourself in a conducive environment. Now, when you talk of socialization, we are all socialized one day. We were all socialized one day. And even now, the agents of socialization, the media is one. Mr. Marong spoke about it. Digital, we are in the digital era now. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, people pass information through this. And information, we all know, is power. But know the information that you send into these things, as it can mold you to become very good people, very responsible children, it can also damage you. And it's a damage in the sense that if it damages you, you can never repair it. Damage is never repaired. It's just like flashlight of thunder. The moment thunder is released, you cannot control it, you cannot get it back. So that's information. You have to be very careful. The lady councillor spoke about something. Your parents are using you at home. Some abuse your rights. Child laboring, to an extent that you violate the child's right. But children also, as children, you must also respect your parents. Respect is reciprocal. Is give and take. If you have respect for your parents, you will be respected by your peer group members. Code of dress, when you come to sexual harassment of the girl child, at times the way some of you dress in public gatherings needs to be looked at. It's a two-way thing. If you don't want to tempt boys or men to harass you sexually, you must be properly dressed and mind the way, the mannerisms you make when you are talking to adults or when you are talking to your fellow children.
waaw mbokk yi ba tey ñu ngi fii si diwaanu Essau teew mu nekk International Africa Children's Day nekk ñoom ne tey seen thème yi moo nekk loo xam ne ak yelleefi xale moo tax ñu fi am chairman comme ne moom moo fi teewal askan wi moom tamit ñu wax ko moom lu mu gis-gis ak lu mu gisee International Africa Children's Day fii si diwaanu Essau salaamaaleykum.
waaleykum salaam.
tur bi sant bi.
Fatou Thiam la dëkk Essau waaw. ñu bari naat ya lañ ma dee wax waaw.
mun na ne yow Essau fii la moo nekk sa taxawaay Essau ba si ban position nga nekk.
Essau yàgg naa fi nag ma dëkkuma fi waa Kombola waaye maa ngi fii nii te fii laay si maa nekkoon head mistress bi Essau si Lower Birsi bi waaye fi mu nekk nag dama retire waaw waaw.
yaa moo tey ñu gis ne tey mu nekk International Africa Children's Day te su waxee International African Children's nga nekk teacher loo ñu si mun a yaatal bu baax.
International African Children's Day bi lifin bu baax la because dañoo daf dee tax nit ñi fàttaliku mémoire bi ñu fàttaliku li xewoon like ni ko speakers yi waxee fii nii dafa important trop so da ngaa gis ne xale itam dinañ awaya ñu wax leen sensitise leen su ko defee ñu xam lan mooy seen warugal bi. waaw ak fan lan mooy seen right si ak fan lañ ko war a emale because loo gisee àddina dafa war a am limite waaw noonu laa ko gisee.
waaw kon dafa mel ni xale war na am on right am.
waaw xale war naa am on right am war naa am freedom am waaye nag warut a jéggi dayoo tam lu nekk rek dafa war a mu am limite waaw su ko defee ñu xam. especially yar ak teegin man for always loolu laa di emphasize even at the school level li ma di emphasize mooy yar ak teegu lum la mayut rek leneen mënu la koo may so dafa important torop sax waaw dafa important torop sax waaw.
loolu am na solo bu baax tey naka nga gisee ndaw ñi tey rawatina yow nga nekk teacher ak jàng bi éducation naka nga ko gisee.
waaw ndaw yi tey daal dafa utee ñun magi démba yi. waaw parce que xaw ma ci yaren bi lan xaw ma ci niñ leen protocole la waaye nag am na différence bu mag a mag di nga gis ne time boobu mag bu la xoolee ci biir but sax yow da ngaa xam lan la butam wax even su boromam waxut sax yow di nga xam lan la wax waaye léegi this generation it's quite different waaw dafa uti torop sax su te léegi ni nga li fi ne xale yi nekkul ne da ngaa force waaye da ngaa wax ak ñoom ñu mun a xam ñu mun a aware waaw waaye boo bëggee use force rek it wouldn't work waaw.
léegi ba yamoo sa kàddu mujj nga xam ne yoo nga wala bugg a wax xale yi ndaw ñi.
waaw ni ma kàddu mujj bi daal mooy ndaw yi nañ try ñu yaru ñu déggal seen waajur yi toppatoo seen njàng mi ba pare seen digital lifin bii nii ñuy wax nii dañ ko waxuma ne buñ ko use waaye buñ ko abuse itam. na am lu nekk dafa war a am limite because man suma doom duma ko doy jox mobile su amee unless and until mu am grade 12 du téye mobile because daf dee jël sa time trop sax waaw doo mun a concentrate on your books or your notes pour nga mun a pass exams waaye fi mu nekk dañ ñu ngi ko use as a learning point waaye baax na nag waaye nag su nekkee ne pour jàng bi moom there is no problem waaye pour leneen nag dafa jël lifin time yi xale bi trop sax. waaw so man li ma leen naa wax ñu concentré jàngal dimbale seen parents yi ba pare doylu lu nekk rek si doylu la man su ma xalaatee li ñoo ñàkk si suñ xale yu góor yi ma xool xale yu jigéen ñi ñu ngi war a sëy ñu ngi amar ay jëkkër daf ma dee dof time daal because xam nga dëgg la nit ku nekk bugg ngaa teegi waaye am na koo xam ne demu tukki wut waaye tekki na fii waaw loolu dama ko dee wax dama ko dee lii soo ñoom nañ try rek ñu jàppa seen gis nga doom aadama seen waajur ni ñoo sonna si ñoom di spend si ñoom nañ try ñu utilize ko su ëllëgee ñu mun leen a fay waaw loolu dee bugga naa ko waaw lu seen parents si sonna si ñoom tam ñu mun leen a fay loolu mooy suma advice ñu try concentrate si seen jàng bi ba pare xam lu ñoo def xam lu ñoo wax xam lu ñoo solo xam lu ñoo def comme ni ko ñeneen ñi waxee fii rek ko soo baxee ne ku la réeb mala nga bañ ko la def waaye yaa ngi sol yoo xam ne sa cër yëpp a ngi si biti yëfin xam nga góor tam nit rek la soo ko am te dafa mun naa am mu def loo xam ne xëj na sa teyu ko yow yaa di koo sofit xam nga soo loolu yëpp nañ try ñu avoid ko nit daal da ngaa am dignité nit da ngaa am jom nit da ngaa am looy rus nit da ngaa am jooy jombal sa boppa soo ko defee rek xëy na yàlla dina la musal si yu bari waaw.
waaw mbokk yi ba tey dina wax ne ñu ngi fi si diwaani Barra di African Children Day nga xam ne at bu nekk lañ ko lay am fada di amee pulan te bu ngeen gi pulan xale yi africain naka la mun a def ba am seen aasa ak seen yelef moo tax ñoo at bu nekk lañ ko lay màggal te na ko Gambia kese ñoo ko lay màggal wax na ne dem na ba fanweer ak juróom-ñetti réew ñoom ne ñoo ko daal di màggal moo tax tey Gambian Talents TV ñu ñëw ñu indi la nga xam ne te lu ñu waxtaanee mooy thème bi moo nekk naan xale yi naka la war a def ba am seen aar seen yelef rawatina soo ñëwee seen environnement bi kon nag tey Gambian Talents TV dina leen indil match pass boo xam ne fi lañ ko daal di dooree fii Barra ba dem si Essau ak gara waxtaan comme dina wax ne te lii la nga amoon yéen mi di nekk di seetaan Gambian Talents TV di leen jaajëfal bu baax a baax a baax si seen seetaan mu rafet ma la woon Babou Diagne ma ànd si suma caméra human di Nabia Sarr di ko jaajëfal bu baax a baax si wàllum machine ak Babou Gueye di leen jaajëfal bu baax ba kon di leen dox daje ba beneen jëmm jamono jërë ngeen jëf.
Part of my tour of West Africa, I'm here in the Gambia and I'm humbled to meet with Mr. Singate, one of the partners of WAWAC. Singate, we are glad to visit your studio finally.
Finally, yes. Thank you, Mr. Juf. Thanks for coming.
You did a song on WAF and you've also produced a few artists. You were part of the COVID-19 project. How was this like?
Yeah, it was a good experience. And then most importantly is the theme of the project, which was very important. The COVID was a global pandemic, we all know.
Gambia High and St. Augustine used to be the two biggest rivals in terms of both sports and academics. Mu nekkoon loo xam ne lu fes la te duñ ko daan caaxaane sax nag like ñun suñ time mu nekkoon lu serious the stampede amoon si stadium bi mu nekkoon lu fatal. I had the inspiration, came up with the idea pour ñu reconcile schools yi.
If you're really ready, oh yes, I'm ready. Let us unite and make it right. If you're really ready, oh yes, I'm ready. Let us unite and sing it right. God sends reconciliation. Time over in the Hollywood.
Hey, no, but self fresh.
Immigration status, and you have experienced hard times because